In this episode, we're going to be taking that quarter off the car with an angle grinder. Let's go. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at taking off this quarter panel. We're going to have a quick look at why I've made that decision, but the whole thing's going to come off, and I have a box over there which has a brand new aftermarket quarter panel that is made to fit this car. So if you've never been here before, I'm Rob. This is Rob's Garage and this is my 1969 XW project. Let's take a look at this panel and see why it needs to come off. Okay, so here's the quarter panel. I was originally going to just repair this bottom section. You can see I've already cut a portion of this off, and I did have a replacement panel to go in there, but unfortunately there is other damage here that I'm not happy about. So this wheel arch, it's actually not even the right shape. The shape's all wrong there. We have a look. That doesn't curve in properly. There's quite a bit of rust in here. So all this would need to come off. I did actually have a dog leg for it as well, but it's just going to cost a bit of money to do that. There's some damage here, some damage on this panel, and yeah, like I've already unpicked that bottom piece, but I just decided to get a brand new panel for it and replace this whole section. There is quite a bit of work in doing that by the looks of it. Basically there's a join down here, it's got to come off, or here you can see I've just started to sand that off as well, and unpick all this up the top here. Some spot welds, it looks like, in here to be able to release the outer skin here. This goes up to a join which is lead filled at factory. So I've already taken the lead out of that. We'll have to unpick the spot welds. I think there's some on the inside as well. We'll have to, you can see here, I've already unpicked, well, removed the spot welds from here. And yeah, we'll have to work on getting the welds, or however the joins are here, which looks like there's one here. There's also a join here. You can see some brass there, most likely from factory, because this all has to be repaired as well. And you can see there's another join here on the end, and the bucket will stay there as this piece here will come off. Now, the reason I didn't want to actually do this or keep this panel on is because there is a join all the way along here. You can see there's a weld. I didn't actually want to keep that as well, because this is a bit, how you going? So not that good. It's a bit bumpy. It's not even 100% straight. So obviously there was a repair on this panel before, so I thought it was just better to remove the whole thing. Now, to do this, we also need to work on the back section here, so let's see what I can get video of. But this gutter has got a piece that looks like it's spot riveted on. You can see there's a join there where it's riveted, and it looks like it's riveted kind of over here. So I'll have to work my way around all the spot welds, but I'm also thinking it might be easier to just cut the panel off, except for away from all the joins, and then work backwards, because I'm really not 100% sure where all the joins are, but it looks like I'll have to work out where to make those cuts, rather than just trying to pull it off all in one piece, because it really doesn't matter. It all doesn't need to be in one piece, mainly because it's not going back on the car. I have the replacement panel that's going on. So that's the main reason why I don't really care about cutting it, but I kind of do want to keep it in as bigger pieces as I can, rather than cutting it to bits, but mainly because I want to do a bit of a test fit of the filler cap. Okay, so if you're familiar with an XW GT, they actually had a very specific filler cap, and I think the XYs had the same one, which is a model after this. Not sure about the prior models before the XW, but they basically come with an outer ring, and a filler cap that looks like this. Now this is an aftermarket one. It's not a genuine factory one, and I'm alright with that. I know some people want the genuine stuff. I'm not really fussed. It's not a genuine car, so it doesn't really make much difference to me. But what you'll find is this has some pins on the back there, you can see, and they're not 100% square, and there's a slight curve to this, which matches the panel. So I want to use this, the guard I'm cutting off, as a bit of a template for welding these pinholes onto the new guard. Okay, so this is the filler hole. This would, by the looks of it, and I'm not 100% sure on this, you can see there's some text at the top there. I'm assuming that that would be the way it would go. So we would have to drill some holes, and then that curve would align with the panel. So that'll be something I'll have to play around with and see what works. But essentially, it would look something like that when it's finished. It's also worth pointing out with this job, the whole window frame around the bottom needs to be repaired. So that's going to be part of this. I'm going to start off the left-hand side. I've already got the middle replacement piece, and there will be a piece for this corner here that we'll be doing as well. So there's pieces that you can buy. They're all aftermarket. They all are a good fit. In this case, not all aftermarket pieces are good, but the ones I have so far, at least for this, look like they fit really well. The middle piece definitely does, and the side piece on the left-hand side is coming next week, so we've got to finish that off. But yeah, we'll be doing that as part of that repair on that side, and then we'll move back over to this side as well as getting rid of this rusted gutter. Now we're ready to get started on getting this quarter panel off. So to say that I'm not nervous about it would be an understatement. It's a big job, never done it. I mean, I didn't think I could do the door skin, so that actually turned out relatively good. So I guess it's a matter of picking up the angle grinder and start cutting, or working through your spot welds. But the main thing is just starting to take it off. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, so I'm contemplating how I start this. I think the first thing I wanted to do was put my leather welding blanket down over the wheel so there's no sparks of that hitting that. I'm just going to start with a small Dremel here. Probably going to cut across this line, mainly because this is a replacement piece that I won't be using, but I'll kind of line that up. You can see that line I've marked before. So I'm just going to cut this section out first and get a bit of a look at what it looks like in here. Now there is a panel underneath, so kind of have to be careful I don't cut through both. And looking in there, might be hard to see, but there is your inner wheel well, so I'll have to look at how damaged that is. There's probably a few repairs there, but we'll start to take this section off and then start to work out how we get this apart and then continue on the rest of the panel. So anyway, let's kick on. Okay, we can just cut across here and we'll start to open this up, give us an idea of what's inside. Rust in there, some sealer, now I should be able to get, if I cut through, I should be able to get this panel completely off. Little Dremel's just almost down to his last little bits. But I'd like to use a Dremel because it's not such a big blade. It gives me a chance to not be too aggressive. Okay, so you'd think that you can just not fix some of this stuff. So I wanted to give you a look at what's underneath that panel. So I've already started chopping a bit more out of that, and also want to give you a look at what's under that so you can have an idea, even when things look good on the outside, what's going to be
hiding, looking, waiting
on the inside. Let's take a look.
Okay, I've taken a bit of this panel off and cut this bit off here. You can see quite a bit of rusted metal, so I'm going to have to fix this outside section. Might have to do, we'll see how bad it is under here, but this is your inner guard, I guess. And then here I've just cut across the top here, and currently just taking out some spot welds. This is the next one. I'm going to work my way down until this whole piece is out, then cut this bottom section off. So this will just be basically finished. And then I did cut into this panel. There is a panel behind here that this joins to, so I don't know how far it goes up, but I did cut up to there with an angle grinder. Don't know if there's another piece, doesn't really feel like there is, so looks like I dodged a bullet there. But look at that, it's all rusted. It needs to be treated. Okay, so there you go. You never know what's lurking under these panels, especially when they're such an old car. Anyway, time to keep drilling out some spot weld. Okay, so here we can see I've been making my way around this section here. You can see what's under the panel there. There's a bit of rust hiding in there. So we're probably going to buy, I think this is called the outer wheel something. I'm looking at those just to see, I think they're about 250 bucks. But we can see I've just unpicked all the welds. There's some spot welds along here. So you can kind of see there's 1, 2, 3 and so on. And I've just been drilling through, I've kind of missed a little bit there, but it's okay. And just basically working my way around. I'll cut this bit off by the looks of it. And we'll just got this last little bit cut across here, probably a spot weld there or two. And we should be able to remove that piece, and then that'll be just the sill that's left, and we'll have some access to this. So a bit of cleaning up there. Now, if you're wondering what I'm using for the spot welds, I'll show you that. It seems to be the best that I've found, and I've watched quite a few other people who are more experienced than me talk about this kind of stuff. So I've tried a few things, and this is one of my preferred ways. It's got a little pin that helps you kind of locate, and then it just bites in. So this is, I believe, a Sutton's one. I don't remember the size. I'll see if I can find it and put that in the thing. I'm just using my Milwaukee, I was going to say Makita, but it's Milwaukee. Milwaukee drill, charging my battery at the moment, and just working through each one of those and just making sure not to drill all the way through. Now the other thing is, and when I say all the way through, I mean the back section. You can drill through the front section, try not to drill through the back because it's just going to create more work for yourself. The other thing, I use this, which is, I believe, a spot weld breaker or something. I got this on Amazon. It is by Steck. So there's the number there. I'll see if you can see that. So that's a spot weld breaker. So you kind of just put that in where the spot weld is, and you can tap the back of it once you've drilled it out. It just helps you break it apart if you're kind of struggling a bit. Just make sure you do spot weld a lot of it, or like drill a lot of the spot weld out before you use this, because you can rip the metal from the backing piece that you obviously want to keep in good condition. So yeah, anyway, let's keep moving on. Okay, so we've got this dog leg now completely off. As you can see, there's a bit of rust in there that needs to be cleaned up. Taking it back down here, so I just chucked an angle grinder in there, and I think this is all the factory, what they call bronzing back in the day, but you can see there's a bit of rust in there we'll have to clean up, but probably going to get a new inner wheel arch, so I'm going to start looking at that. But first we're going to keep working on the rest of this panel. Probably start unpicking here, work my way around there to take this whole quarter bit off, but I think there's a bit of work here. Let me get my camera in the right place. Bit of work here to get this off. So this is, I think, holding this panel in. But only way to keep doing this is keep moving forward. So let's go. All right, so I'm getting ready to cut this quarter off. I've done a little bit more work here on this bit, but I think what I want to do is just, I've marked a line here. You can actually see that. So I've marked a line here across the top, and that's what I'm going to cut with an angle grinder, because that's all the pieces that aren't attached to anything. Not exactly sure what's behind this section, so I think it's all good up to there. Then there's a secondary panel in there. That is fine, but we need to cut this section off so I can have a good look. The bottom is already undone. Got my safety glasses on. I'll put some earphones on. Start cutting. Okay, so you can see we've cut this panel off now, so that's kind of very weird to me to do that. But it's all in the aim of putting a new one on. So while it does feel weird to me, yeah, it just means that we're moving forward. So let's have a little look what's behind that panel. Okay, so we've got the panel off, and you can see the reason I've left this section is because I need to unpick this from this back section. So that'll be one project, so we can see how that's kind of joined on there. And we also have the inside of how this gutter looks from this side. So we can have a look at how that's made. We can work out how to unpick that and take it apart, which is good. And then we also need to look at this wheel arch and see how that looks and what makes this piece, because I've got a feeling I'm going to replace this, and probably for a good reason. Let's look at that. Yeah, so it's got a few joins by the looks of it. It's got this piece here, if you ever wondered what's in there, and back in behind here you can see how this is made with that piece there. So that's what we'll be joining onto. And then if we can see under there, kind of a bit hard to get the light in there, we can see how the roof joins on and what rust bits need to be done there as well. So we have it. Let's just keep moving forward from here. Kind of weird seeing my quarter panel on the floor, but yeah, anyway, let's keep moving on. Okay, everyone, there we have it. This is going to be the end of part one, because there's quite a bit more to cover in getting this quarter panel to where it is, which is super exciting. As you can see, it is on the car. It's not actually finished at this stage, but if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe. We'll continue on in the next video. Leave your comments down below and stay tuned for the next episode coming real soon. Thanks for watching.